Alright, guys, welcome to बाइक की वेलकम। तो हमारी गेम खुल रही है अभी। गाइस ये एक नई गेम है यार, देखो टाइटल वाइटल से और से मतलब गेम डिस्क्रिप्शन से इतनी मस्त गेम लगी ना मुझे, मज़ा आ गया भाई देख के। रेलवे एम्पायर, अरे ये नहीं भाई, ये नकली सी गेम। गेम खुली, आई थिंक गेम खुली। What is okay? Okay.
Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above.
Stars
And in front of
fill
you
the sky above.
is a brightly
And in
lit
front
wooden
of you
house.
is a brightly
The only building
lit
you've seen for days.
wooden house. The only building you've seen for days.
You walk toward the house,
You walk towards the
hearing
house.
the sounds of
Hear the
laughter
sound
and talk
of
as you
laughter
reach the door and push it
talk as you
open.
reach the door and push it open.
You sit down and join the
You sit
game.
down and join the game.
It's a cheap buy-in,
Cheap buy-in,
and not many of the
many
other players are very
are
good. The lady fiddling with dice
Lady
gets good
fiddling with
cards,
dice
but has
gets
no
good
real
cards,
strategy.
but has
The
no
man
real
to your
strategy.
right
The
seems
man
to
to
just
your
hold
right
on to the highest cards he
just hold on
has,
the highest cards he
regardless
has,
of suit or
regardless of
any
suit,
consideration of
any
matches.
consideration of matches.
The man in gray across
The
from
man
you,
in grey
though,
across from you,
he's
so
good.
He's good.
he already had the
had
largest pile of coins when you bought in,
bought in.
and while your
While
winnings
your
grow
winnings
quickly,
grow
you
quickly,
can't quite
can't
catch
quite
him.
catch him.
One by one,
One
the
by
other
one,
players
the
leave
other
the
players
table,
leave the table.
sometimes with pique or with wry humor,
WRY humor.
leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray.
Leaving their winnings with you or the man in grey. Okay. What is going on?
Finally,
Why isn't there
it's just you and the man in gray.
Finally, it's just you and man in
He
the
looks
gray.
at
He
you,
looks at you
full of humor and winks.
Last hand?
Last hand,
Yeah, I mean,
he deals,
he
you
deals,
draw,
you draw,
and look at your hand.
It's good.
It's good.
The best hand.
It's
in
great.
fact. A royal
The
straight
best
flush
hand, in fact.
fades ace high.
A royal straight. But the man in gray
The man
pushes forward his whole pile.
You're
You're not sure exactly how much it is,
It is.
but it's more than you've
more
got.
than you've
You
got.
can't match that.
You can't match that.
The man in gray stops you.
The man in grey stops you.
Now,
if you like,
if
I'll
you
let
like,
you wager your word.
I'll let you
I
wager
know
your
you'll be good for
word.
it. Just promise
I know
pay
you'll
the
be
debt
good
back.
for it.
However, I ask.
Just promise you'll pay the debt. However I ask.
You have
The
my
man
word.
in
The
gray
man in grey
smiles.
Alright, then I'll call. Show him. Huh? He is a Wolverine. Dire wolf.
Well, your luck wasn't so
Well,
good,
your
was
luck
it?
wasn't so good,
That's
was
quite
it?
the hand, but not for the game we're playing.
Game we're playing.
I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor. You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie.
But the question is,
all the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know. To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light. Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they'll grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story. The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie?
Isn't a dingy or better than a shining lie? Yep.
Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your town.
Tell the story of the fear of eyes of the blood red velvet table. They come up, snake eyes. I don't know what's going on. Why isn't there no voice? Tell the story of...
It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty. Well, try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you. It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people. Not many who can do that.
Black and grey
I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you'll feel pain. Hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories. And death, yes. But don't worry. As long as your task remains. Go on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not. Either way, it'll be an experience for you. I'm jealous in some ways. I hope you find what you're looking for.
I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground.
Why can't I do anything? Why can't I hear? Yeah, I'm gonna quit. I'll restart the game. I can't hear anything. What the hell? Huh. US और कनाडा का
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men. The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you.
Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?
You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. You know these girls? They demand. Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless.
If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash.
Sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
Well, I got no companion except the wind and the sea. And when I'm gone empty, they're the ones who bury me.
अभी तक कनेक्ट ही नहीं कर रहे थे कनेक्ट नहीं कर रहे थे सोच रहा हूँ मैं को वॉच
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see
What is this?
them
This is
for
a new game.
long. 'Cause when the night come down for the take,
You go to fulfill your obligation. This is a game named where water tastes like wine, and I don't know. It's a storytelling game. I don't know.
my vagrant song.
Wait a second. I'll just reduce my ping base. Now, which part should I take? Okay. Should I go right or should I go left? Where? Man, the songs are nice. Yep, I'll search.
Off the road and into the woods, you can't help but come across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle.
I'll
The
say
shape
hello.
gives a start.
Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here.
It says in a small voice.
Pa doesn't want to live with us anymore.
And
But I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding.
Oh.
You tell the boy you'll keep his secret. You don't see his father anywhere. You don't see another soul for miles.
Oi. Man, what is this world? Oh, we are gonna go into a big village? Yep, I think so. Oh, we have Boston up ahead. What the hell?
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore.
They don't come every year, you know.
Just when the fishing is going to be good. He taps great, black, thick globs of spent tobacco out of a huge ceramic pipe. I got another year, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Another year of this town being here, he replies,
Oh boy.
letting a grin spread across his face. If the seagulls came, that means enough fish to keep it in place. The woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis. The confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise. You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house.
Birdish.
Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit. You decide to seek a second opinion. You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner.
Okay.
Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes. You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench. You may. Lovely outside, isn't it? Her eyes
okay.
are beautiful shaded brown.
Beneath.
Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat. Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Why Paris? Paris. Why not Paris? Wait.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon,
Okay.
and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open, with a daunting staircase before you.
Bapre.
At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door.
Okay.
Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough. Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door. Another man. This one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead. After a moment, The door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand.
Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in.
Okay, I'll step inside.
Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. "Tea?" he offers, hoisting a teapot.
Been here long. Must be lonely up here. I'll ask him.
Oh, we manage.
The tall one sits on the sofa, casually wrapping an arm around the other lighthouse keeper.
The quiet suits us just fine.
He needs his quiet time. He's a writer.
Oh, okay.
The tall one grunts.
I dabble. But you must have some good stories from the road.
You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
Wait, where's my stories? They asked if I had some stories. Asked him at least. Okay, let's just explore this first. No, we can't go there. Yep, I'll ride him. Let's go. Oh boy. Boston. Okay, Boston. Red brick, green tree, blue sky in this weather. Boston is beautiful. That is, until you make your way deeper into the city and get lost among the cramped, winding, shadow-haunted old streets. Guys, 1 second. Just wait a second. I'll need to make my charger come here. Yep, I hope it doesn't work. Yep, it works now. Totally fine. Okay, now what should I do? Let's just earn a little bit of money first. Looking for a way to make some cash. Join a crew of laborers waiting at a street corner. Soon a truck pulls up and everybody jumps in the back. The job's good, one woman assures you. You ride a short way before the truck pulls up behind your factory. Everyone hops out and start putting on heavy coats. The whole factory is a vast cold meat locker. You're shivering in only few minutes. Dragging the carcasses around is hard work, but it only keeps you so warm. Soon your hands are totally numb. Should I keep going or should I quit early? Like, I'll keep going. You grit your teeth and keep working. By nightfall, you're shaking almost uncontrollably. You're paid a full day's wage, but it's hardly worth it. Oh boy. Let's go to train station. Detroit, New York. No, I don't want to go anywhere.
This city is like no other you've been to. Crooked streets splay out in a maze of narrow passages, no two alike. Soon, you find yourself in twilight, utterly lost. Bright light crests around one corner, a car approaching.
Okay. One corner. Taxi. No.
Unable to afford rescue, you keep walking. The asphalt turns to crooked cobblestones that threaten to wrench your ankle out of place. Was this always a moonless night? The stars multiply, each one looking like a pinprick through which light is exiting the terrestrial world. It's hard finding your way through in pitch darkness. You go by touch and sound, feeling the scale of the streets by the echoing of your footsteps, fingers tracing the rough surface of the buildings. And then, a rumble of noise in the distance. You quiet yourself, suddenly fearful. The clear sky tells you it's not thunder, but cannon fire. The city comes alive with fires and shouting. You find yourself trampled by a mob of men in thick brown coats, a phalanx of bayonets advancing up the street. When you come to, there's no sign of the commotion, the war that you were just caught in. The comically shrill honk of a Model A running up the road startles you, and you crawl toward the sidewalk.
Hi, Naeem Nagaria.
Above, the sky is a sharp, cold, cloudless blue.
Nah, I don't want to waste any of my money. Yeah, let's just... You feel like you've swallowed a warm fireplace. Like in hot.
A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another. The man with the truck leaps into the street.
Brother!
He shouts.
The one
on the horse tumbles out of his saddle.
Brother!
He screams.
They
They embrace in the road.
30 years!
Hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him.
No! 32!
Oh wait. Oh boy.
Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling.
Take a photo of us!
The driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck.
I'll say
The
cheese.
long-lost brothers pose in front of traffic, cry snot pouring out of their noses. As angry passerby wave you out of the road, each brother presses a coin into your hand. When the traffic disperses, you realize they overpaid you quite a shocking amount.
Oh boy. Man, that helped me out.
Well, I got no companion except the wind and the sea. And when I'm gone empty, they're the ones.
The hotel is an old manor house that's seen better days. A grand structure surmounted by a gambrel roof that dwarfs the house itself. It's eerily still, but for two boys at play. Each one so small and light, they barely leave tracks in the deep snow.
Oh boy.
Waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand,
What should I do? Like, go in
my victory
or watch them? Let's think.
my tale, my vagrant song.
All
They
those
seem old for their size, around 10 years old. Though their clothes are mismatched, they're perfectly identical, down to the pattern of freckles on their pale cheeks.
Oh, okay.
They conduct their games in eerie silence. The clerk behind the counter is old, and your room key is worn,
But
but night approaches, and the price is low. Just before you shut the room door, there they are, the twins, staring at you from the corridor. In the morning, as you leave, the clerk asks, "Did you sleep well?"
I'll tell the truth.
Too tired to lie, you tell him about the noise outside your door, the trampling of small feet on the corridor outside, the dreams disturbed with violent and hideous images. "That's odd," he says, weak-eyed.
Guy.
"There are no children staying with us."
What?
Well, I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep that stride stuck in my soul. 'Cause when my toes burn low and my trains run out of track, I won't.
As you walk down the road, a black crow flutters down to land in your path. It looks at you, cocks its head, and speaks. Well, you've got a long, long road ahead, don't you? What? All these people who chase down you, or so I hear, with gloves. I got some experience when it comes to chasing folks. Well, if you want, you could go find your friend again. Ask him more about their life. They might want better stories this time. It peers up at you. Didn't they tell you where they were headed next? Ask him more about their life. They might want better stories this time though. It peers up at you. Didn't they tell you? But hey, the world is full of people. Bet you could find another friend like that if you went looking around. There's more than one interesting person in this land, for sure. He gives a gravely love. That's what humans say. Anyway, and with that, it launches into the air and disappears. What just happened?
Muddling through the dark, you stumble into the path of the white deer. Its beauty strikes you at once. It is something otherworldly, beyond borders, a moon swimming in the void. Human shouts not far away break the spell. The deer's ears prick up. This thing is being hunted.
What?
You know a way out of here. As the hunter's cries get louder, you approach the deer carefully, palms outstretched. As you grow close, your features become clearer in the light of the deer's aura. It bolts into the path of an oncoming train.
Oh, hey. Man, this world is insane. Okay, how much time do I have left? Grown by Dim Bulb Games, producer of India. That's quite a nice game, if you ask me. Okay guys, तो हम अपन अभी ना न्यूयॉर्क जो है बाद में एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. अभी के लिए इतना है. हाँ, अभी वो बाद में करेंगे. I'll see you guys soon and